What's going on, TubeU? Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gents. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, we'll be going over a couple of steps that I think you guys should be taking if you're planning on modifying your vehicles. The reason I felt the need to make this video is because whenever I'm cruising social medias or in the forums and things like that, I would always see someone who was going down this avenue or this route, and then they ended up changing their mind. They're now selling all the parts from the previous build so they can start build 2.0 or still build 3.0. And you know, I always wonder, why don't you just go that way to begin with? Why don't you just start with that? And I'm not perfect either. I've done this before where I've started modding my car before even having a goal or knew where I wanted to end up with. So what you end up doing is wasting a bunch of time and money doing recreational maintenance, and it's not even going to pay off in the end. So like, why even go that route if that's not what where you want to end up at? That's why I put this little list together to try to save you any time, hassle, or headache prior to starting your build. So let's get right into it. Step one. So step one is simply going to be setting a goal. You want to set a defined target right there. Put it on your little note chart, whatever you need to do to make sure you don't forget the goal. Set the target and then work towards that target. Make sure it's reasonable, make sure it's attainable, and make sure it's freaking affordable. One of the steps below is going to account into that, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But make sure it's all of those three things, man, because you don't want to be out here setting unrealistic goals, setting unaffordable goals for you and your build, and then, you know, that goal is just going to be something that just keeps moving further away. So set something that's reasonable, attainable, and freaking affordable. That's probably the most important piece of that. So make sure you set a goal. Just wandering around aimlessly while you're trying to build a car, I'm telling you, that's the easiest and best way to go out here and just waste thousands of dollars. You don't want to be out here plunking down cash on, you know, $2,000 heads for an NA build. Whole time next thing you know, you're like, I think I want to slap a turbo on it too, because, you know, you change your mind. You didn't set a goal. What is your goal? Is this going to be an NA build? Is this turbo build? Is it a nitrous build? Do you want to run 8s? Do you want to run 9s? What do you want to do? Do you want to make 1300 horsepower or 900 horsepower? What do you want to do? Set that goal. Make sure it's realistic. Make sure it's affordable, and make sure it's attainable. Point blank period. Before starting anything else, set a goal and stick to it. Moving on to step number 2. Step 2 is simply going to be do your research. Do freaking research, man. You do not want to be out here just wandering around in the blind, just wasting money on things like that when you could have easily avoided wasting money or buying parts that you didn't need if you just asked a question, if you just reached out to a shop, reached out into a forum, reached out to a Facebook page or something like that. Reach out to owners. All these social media outlets out there, there's someone out there that has a goal probably very similar to what you're trying to reach towards. So this guy already has a 9-second car. He already has a Whipple on it. He already has a turbo on it, or he already has nitrous on his car. Let me just reach out to him. Let me just reach out to this turbo guy. I have a 2009 Camaro and I want to be nitrous. All right. That guy has a 2009 Camaro. It's the same motor as mine. So I'm going to reach out to him. It's also a nitrous build. Let me reach out to him. Oh, here's a forum for nitrous powered Camaros. Oh my God. Let me reach out in there. Let me ask questions. Let me see what others are doing, what's working and what's not. Because the last thing you want to do is go out here and buy this kit with this cam with these heads and none of the parts work because you simply didn't ask the question. Tons of these owners out here could have easily told you that prior to starting your freaking build and prior to you buying anything. And then one thing that just irks my nerve, I'm sorry, I'm going to beat off the path a little bit. Don't be the people in the forums and in the pages asking questions after you bought the fucking part. Don't, like, why are you even here? What's the point of that? Hey guys, I'm just trying to learn more about these parts right here. I'm trying to learn more about these tires. Oh, are you buying them? No, I already have them on the car. I'm like, what good is this gonna do you now? What? You already bought them. Why don't you ask prior to wasting your money on them? And we could have told you, like, hey man, you're probably not gonna like this tire because of XXX. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be those guys in the pages asking after you bought the parts. Ask before you buy the parts so you're not just wasting your time and theirs. All right, all right, enough rant over. But anyway, do your freaking research. Reach out to shops, reach out to owners, reach out to the forums, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever you got. And you don't just have to go buy other people's stuff. You can go to the manufacturers directly, what power these parts are capable of, you know, things like that, all the specs and all the stats that you might need to know prior to starting your build. So you don't just have to be confined to the owners, reach out to the manufacturers. I'm pretty sure there's an email on any part manufacturer website that you can go to and, you know, get the information that you're looking for. So that's step number 2, doing your freaking research prior to buying the parts. Alrighty, moving on to step 3. It's gonna be setting a budget. Remember what I said? It needs to be affordable. Well, now you're gonna find out if it is affordable or not. So, let's say I want a 411 stroker 3.0 Whipple, and you know I want to run H. So that's my goal. That's what I want. Those are the parts that I want. Now, is it realistic and isn't it affordable? I don't know. Let's map it out. So Whipple, let's say 10K. Let's say 411 stroker kit, another 5 to 6K. Being able to put the power down, so we're probably going to need an upgraded drive shaft, another $1,500. Axles, another $2,000. And now we're looking at about $15,000, or I guess that's like what, $17,000. Now we're looking at about $17,000. Now, is that affordable to you? If it is yes, then go ahead, set your goal, set it right there. Boom, that's your budget. $17,000. If you're somehow blown way the fuck over that, all right, what's going on? Why are you buying parts that are not on this list? You've already mapped it out. You already know what your budget is. Why are you not sticking to it? See what I'm saying? You don't want to be out here. This is these are the parts that you wanted. Why are you throwing headers in here if you didn't have that on the list? Why are you throwing a cam up there if that wasn't on the original list? Now your bill is ballooning way out of proportion, way out of cost limit, or way out of budget, and it wasn't on the list to begin with. Now the build is taking longer than it's supposed to because you didn't stick to budget. You could have been done already, but you wanted to go out here wasting money on cams and wasting money on headers and stuff like that when it wasn't in the original plan. Now, if you have the disposable means or disposable income and you just, you know, got money to blow like that, go right ahead. You don't set a budget. You do you, boo-boo. I ain't got nothing against you. But for those of you out there, like myself, who needs to set a freaking budget, you should probably do that. You know what I'm saying? Set a freaking budget, stick to it, and don't be out there just wasting money on mods and things like that that aren't on the build and don't get you towards that goal. See, you have the goal already set, you've already done your research, you've already set a budget, now stick the fuck to the plan. All right, moving on. Alrighty, moving on to the next step. Now that you set your goal, you've done your research, you set a budget aside, now it's time to start buying parts. Have a little fun, man. All right, now, you can either start buying parts piece by piece, which is what I did this time around, or you can contact a shop, because most of the time, if you have a goal that a shop probably already has like a stage kit or something for, like say you had a goal of just reaching 900 horsepower, most shops out there probably have a goal that easily reaches that power for Hellcats. I'm sorry, talking in Hellcat terms here. Most shops out there have like a 900 horsepower Hellcat stage kit already, and it's going to have all the parts in that kit, and it's going to be a set aside price and everything right there, where you can just hit buy or go to their shop, and you can call them up, order it through them, and all their parts and things like that will be ready and set aside when your car arrives. So you can go that route, or you can start buying parts yourself, which is what I did. And you can start, you know, I want to do this, I want that kit, and I need this, I need that, and then you just take your parts and your car to that shop if that's what you're doing, if you're letting the shop do it. Or if you're handy with a wrench, obviously you save a lot of money if you could just do it yourself. Me, unfortunately, I'm not handy enough. I don't have the tool capacity, and I don't have the mental capacity to sit here and do it myself. The few mods that I try to do myself is usually simple stuff like intakes, catch cans, exhaust. What was another? I tried to do mid pipes one time myself. I can do brakes. I do my own brakes. So simple stuff like that I can usually handle, and you know, it's not too terrible. But even doing the simplest of tasks, I usually run into just little headaches that I probably wouldn't encounter if I did this on the regular. So if you're like me and you want to avoid, you know, simple little headaches and things like that, or you possibly costing yourself more money, and this is another rant that's saved for a different time, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But if you don't want to, you know, cost yourself more money in the long run, and you don't have the tools nor the know-how, just contact the shop, man. Save your ass and contact the freaking shop. I've already made a video about shops that you should be reaching out to, and I'll put that video down below if you're interested in going fast and you don't feel like doing it yourself or can't do it yourself like your boy. So I can do simple stuff, but like I said, just I want shit done right, and I don't want to be out here all freaking day doing things the wrong way. This is way too expensive of a car. This is way too expensive of a build to be out here just messing it all up. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I just refuse to be out here wasting time and money doing something the wrong way and just being disappointed in the results. There's tons of shops out there that can help me reach my goal, and I've already reached out to them. So that's what I did. I bought my parts, I've reached out to the shop, and that's what I'm going to be doing. All right. Now, you could do both. Like I just said, that's what I'm doing. I bought the parts, and I've already reached out to the shop. They're going to take care of everything once we get the car there. Or you can contact the shop and just let them handle everything. That's going to be the easiest, but more than likely it's going to be the most expensive route, because most of the time if you do contact the shop and let them buy everything, there's usually going to be little hidden fees and things like that, where, you know, customer fee, debit fee, yada 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 fee, parts fee, and all that other stuff like that. Because obviously they are providing the parts for you. They're shipping the parts in, they're ordering, they're doing everything for you, so you don't have to do a thing. All you did was show up, debit card, credit card, swipe. All right, so you could go that route, and like I said, it's going to be the easiest and quickest. Or you could do like I did, where I bought the parts separately and then I reached out to the shop afterwards. So step number 4, buy parts or contact a shop. All right, so moving on to step number 5, and this is probably going to be the easiest and shortest step. It's simply going to be start the build. If you bought the parts and you're doing the install yourself, there's no more time to waste. Go ahead, start it. Stop sitting there. Stop letting the parts sit around forever. Stop wasting time. Start the build, because if you don't start now, then it's never gonna freaking start. Just start the freaking build. And for those of you who reached out to a shop, go ahead and send the freaking shop off. No need to let parts sit around, and no need to sit on your freaking thumbs and sit there going on YouTube, going on more Instagram, because then you get to thinking, then the plans get to changing. Oh, well, I saw that this part is probably better for my build, so maybe I should sell my part and then buy that part instead. You know what I'm saying? Then start stuff. You already set the budget, you already set the freaking goal. Why are we changing things this far along? All right, so the only time that I believe that it's acceptable to go ahead and start changing plans along this far along is if you've done a little more research, or maybe something came out and you've seen more and more news or failures of this part or that part of this tire or this set of wheels. If you've seen more failures or something like that, and you may be thinking, maybe I shouldn't have that for my build. Maybe these heads aren't the best for my build. I don't really want to run into any issues. I could probably, send them back to the manufacturer because I'm still within warranty, and they're not installed on the car yet. Or I could sell them to someone else who, is probably interested in it. So that's the only time I say changing parts or buying more parts is acceptable at this point in the build. If the goal is set, it's time to freaking start the build. Point blank, period. You've got this far, let's make it happen, Captain. Alrighty, so moving on to step number 6, and it's going to be the last step on my list, and probably my favorite step on this list. It's going to be enjoying the build, baby. It's time to go out here, have some fun, and enjoy all that damn time, effort, and money that you put into this build. It's time to circle back. Let's take it. Let's see if it reaches and meets those expectations of that original goal that you set for yourself prior to all of this even starting. Your goal was to go out here and make 4 digits on the dyno. Let's hit the dyno shop. Let's see if it does it. Your goal is to go out here and run 9 flat. Let's go hit the track, grab your helmet. Let's go see if it does it. Your goal was to do 4 seconds, 60 to 130s. Grab your draggy. Let's hit the street. Let's go see if it does it, man. So, that's it. That's all. That's the end of my little list, man. I hope you guys found something helpful from it. If you did, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon so you guys get a notification when these videos go up. So go to the Instagram channel at Low376Slow, all one word. Be down in the description, man. And that's all I got for you guys, man. Until next time, 2 view, I'm out. Peace.